They found his coat folded on the bridge. Neat and deliberate. That was 1919, and people still see him there. This is outside Halifax, out in the Calder Valleys, where the road follows the river and the bridge sits low between the hills. Stone and water underneath. A place that people pass through on their way to somewhere else. There's one bridge that people remember. He came first as a traveller. He moved between the towns, door to door, keeping accounts. Then he stopped. He took a room, stayed on. Became part of the place. A familiar face, the kind that you nod to without needing a name. And just as that settled, the war began. He went, like the others. They saw him at the station, bag over his shoulder, coat buttoned clean, and he looked back once, and then he stepped on. Years later, he came back. Same platform, same bag. Someone said they saw him standing there, waiting for the crowd to pass, before he moved. Thinner. He took the same room and walked the same roads. But now, he'd stop. In the middle of a path, hand resting on a stone, listening. Once a door slammed, sharp, down the street, and he was on the ground before the sound had settled, palm flat to the road, head turned, holding still. Nothing came. He stood, brushed his knee, and carried on. He kept to the valley routes, bridge to bridge, town to town, as if walking still belonged to him. People noticed. No one asked him about it, but there were ways of speaking that didn't need questions. That some things follow a man back, and they settle in the spaces where quiet should never be. And one night, late in the year, fog low in the valley, he walked out towards the bridge, coat on and hands in his pockets, the way you would just to clear your head, and someone saw him go. He didn't come back. They found his coat 3 days later, folded on the stone, dry, though the weather hadn't been. He was set down like he'd meant to return. The bridge stayed as it was, the water moving beneath it, the weather passing through. And that should have been enough to leave it there. But not long after that, someone was walking the lower path, and they looked up and saw a man standing on the bridge, still, hands in his pockets. They called out and they started up the bank, and by the time they reached the road, there was no one there. A driver coming down the road, horse steady beneath him, saw the same figure ahead, just at the middle of the bridge. And as he drew closer, the horse lifted sharp, as if something had crossed it. He pulled it in and he settled it, looked up again, and the bridge was empty. It was said again. Different years, different people. Same place. Same man. Always there. Just before someone arrives. Out in those valleys beyond Halifax, people still use that road. Most crossings pass without thought. But sometimes, someone looks ahead and sees him, standing, held in that single point between one step and the next, as if he's still waiting for something that hasn't reached out to him yet. And if you ever take that road out through the valley and you come to the bridge with no one on it, it might be worth slowing just for a moment before you cross. Because some places, they hold on to what happened there. It's Giles, signing off.